like to call the meeting to order. The Board of Leavenworth County Commissioners. I'd like to invite everyone to stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. For the record, all three commissioners are present. I'd like to open up with public comment. Anyone from the public wishing to speak, please come forward, state your name and address.
Gary Starcher, 18326 182nd Street. We're here today to find out about the vote for chip and sealing 182nd Street between Evans and 2440. We've seen they put a counter on for 24 hours. Haven't heard what their findings was there.
Okay.
I done a little count myself last night, and we counted 83 cars in 2 hours. There's 37 residents south of Evans, 18 north of Evans. There's 20 residents, I believe it was, 23 in the subdivision, and all these people are using that road for a go-through. And we feel that to spend money on dust control would be a waste of money, because I don't think it's not going to hold up under that kind of traffic. Or we'd be better off to put that money towards chip and seal.
Okay, we're going to be discussing this here in a little bit, so you can jump in then too if you got any comments. All right?
All right.
All right, thank you. Anyone else from the public wishing to speak? We'll close that portion of the meeting and go to approval of the minutes. The commissioners had a chance to.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Voting.
Aye.
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 Any administrative business? Mark, Molly?
I do. Go ahead.
Commissioners, I think in the packet there is a resolution that is suggested, and this was for, I guess, a request for, I think now we're calling them exceptions to county policy regarding a driveway. An individual, a resident came, I believe, last Tuesday and had concerns about his driveway and wanted to move it for safety reasons. And I believe the board voted to approve that, and this resolution is just adopting the board's approval.
Okay, and it wouldn't be considered variance?
It's
No, the variance is for zoning. This is not zoning, this is a policy on driveway policy, so it's an exception to the policy.
Okay.
This just allows him to have something formalized that we can then record.
Okay, but to get a driveway, you got to go to planning and zoning. They don't come to public works, do they, David?
Oftentimes.
Yeah, but I mean, the permits are issued through planning and zoning for a driveway and entrance permit.
He already has a driveway. This is
Okay.
this is an exception because he's wanting to move it inside the 200 feet that the policy currently says.
Okay.
So it's an exception to a policy for
I think we have already
Yeah,
approved.
so
Yeah,
So all you want is our signature?
This is just formalizing the resolution.
Right.
You just
So-
gotta
have a resolution.
ready.
Yeah.
right. 35.
35. I make a motion to approve resolution 201735.
Second.
Voting.
Aye.
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 Anything else on administrative business? Commissioner?
I do have an issue. I've been hearing around the community that there has been some type of rumor or false accusations on myself that I asked Channel 41 News to come up here and investigate the industrial parks, and I'm here to say that I very much deny this. When I got my first call from Channel 41 News, it was left a message on my phone. I immediately went into Molly Hill's office, and I think she would verify this. I went into her office and asked her, should I return the call? And she said no, she would not recommend it. So I did not. Subsequently, I received 2 more calls from them, which I did the same thing. I did not return their calls. That evening, I was sitting in my home and my landline phone rang. It come in unavailable. So I picked the phone up and answered it. It was Channel 41 News calling me at my home address and my landline phone. He asked me if he could ask me a couple questions, in which he did, and I would like to state for the record also that I did not call Channel 41 News originally. I did not have anything to do with him coming up here. He did ask me when the next meeting. I told him. He said, is it open to the public? And I said, yes, it is. He said, is cameras allowed? I said, as far as I know, I don't know as we've ever turned anybody down. And having said all that, I think that in his article that's going to probably come out sometime, I think he interviewed Commissioner Smith.
He did.
He interviewed me. He interviewed Mike Riley of JMK. He interviewed Greg Cause of Lexico. So I am not the only one that he has talked to or interviewed. Like for these accusations to stop, I think some of them are coming within, and therefore I'm totally denying them. And I did ask the investigative reporter who called him, because he seemed to have some information, and he gave me the excuse that he was online and he saw several things online through social media of what was going on with the industrial parks, and it piqued his interest, and that's why he was going. Whether that is really, or if he's not protecting someone, and I can't say, I can't call him that, say that that's not the truth, because I don't know, and I'm not going to say anything that I don't know for a fact. So anyway, from then, I want to make that clear, and I'd like this to be part of the record.
Okay. Anything else?
Yes.
Administrative business?
Also, since I've been accused, wrongly accused of this, I have had trouble with my emails. And I went down and talked to Larry today. I've had some emails, and they have been delayed, like someone else is reading them before I get them. He claims it's some tangent that's holding them up, and they're not being released or something. I'm not a very technical person on this kind of issue, but this is the only place that I can talk to the commissioners freely. Mm-hmm. And I would like to ask both of you, do you have any knowledge of my emails being blocked or read?
No.
I don't know enough about emails to even answer your question.
Well, I just wanted to clear that up, and that's all I have.
It would take the vote of the board to put legal holds on emails, correct?
Usually, yes. Now, sometimes if I am aware of litigation, I will notify IS, but I haven't taken any action to put a hold or block anyone's emails.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
No.
Okay. All right, we'll move on down the agenda then. Approval of the agenda for the week of June 12th. Let's look at the agendas, gentlemen.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Voting.
Aye.
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 Dust control discussion. Mr. Lujan.
Morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Do you have any specific questions or any specific roads you want to talk about?
Well-
first, or-
Well, we have these people that are representing one particular
What-
area. What can you tell us about that?
We can go ahead and talk about 182nd Street first, if you'd like. From what I can determine, it was put on the PRP list in 2007. It was taken off the PRP list in 2014. From what I can tell, it was taken off because they were unable to acquire all the easements that were necessary for construction. Other than that, I don't know why it was taken off the PRP list in 2014.
I was here at that time. I think Clyde was, of course, too. And I think we went down the list and we saw that some of them had been on that list for quite some time and did not move forward and did not have all the necessary easements, and they were taken off the list. Now, I think they were put on a like a hold list, but they weren't being considered because there was no action on them. One thing you've got down here, I got your email on my computer, and you estimated cost at $50,000.
For the 4 miles that were being discussed on Monday, yes. I talked with Scott Wood in the afternoon. They estimated six tanker loads of chemical would be needed, roughly $7 grand per mile. On top of that, the county has to go out and prep them, put rock down, shape them up, get them ready. So all in all, you're probably looking at $10,000 to $12,000 per mile to do these 4 miles.
I know I've asked you this question personally, I've called you this morning, and I wanted to know, and I'd like to ask you the same question for the record and for these people that are sitting out here. This is not a county project.
No, the two projects going on right now are KTA projects. They're replacing the 188th Street Bridge and the 182nd Street Bridge.
The only thing we're going to have to do is the ramping up to the I don't know what you call it.
Bridge approach.
We'll need to tie in 182nd Street to the
Right. So actually, we're not doing anything down there.
Not at this time, no.
Is there any chance that KTA can put dust abatement down? Because actually, it is their project, and they are doing it.
I've spoken with their project engineer that's on site several times. He's assured me that the majority of their traffic is using the turnpike coming to and leaving the site. Very little, if any, traffic is using local roads.
So, in your opinion, then this is just local traffic that's being used on this road?
Yeah, I personally sat out there on May 24th from 7:30 to 9 in the morning, and I observed 21 vehicles. 6 of them were southbound. And then I went back from 3 to 4:30 the same day, 27 vehicles, and 15 of those were northbound. Majority of those were passenger cars and trucks, nothing that I would attribute to the
project.
site. Yeah.
So, I guess what I'm getting at is, if this is our fault, or if this is, then maybe we should take a look at it. But if they want this road put chip and seal down, then they need to get on the program, either the PRP program, whatever one they would come by, but they would have to be put on the program, which we don't have. We might have the money, I don't know. The clerk says we have the money, but we haven't talked to you and see if you've earmarked some of that snow money for the money for road and bridge. And what I guess, I'm not opposed to this as much as I am. I don't think the county should have to pick up the dime for KCTA or KDOT.
I got a price from Scott Wood also, David, but I got it at the 3 miles. I done them by 22 foot. Did you do 24 foot?
No, I did 20.
Okay, I did 22 foot, and the 3 roads that we had been shooting year after year that were on the PRP, I put it down as 0.35 gallons per square yard instead of a half a gallon per square yard. And then the mile that we haven't done, 182nd, put down as a half a mile per square yard, and I got $22,000 quote.
Yeah, the price I got from Scotwood was just under 7,000 per mile.
Mm-hmm. But I got 5 tankers at 4,000 gallons, and it'd be a total of 22,000. That would cover all the roads.
Phil, I think it was, he had told me 6 tankers.
Yeah, well, but I cut it back to 0.35 on the roads that have been getting shot every year, and then a half a gallon on a new road. But 182nd Street has already got the first quarter mile done. And then in 2007, you said, is when it first came on?
That's what I could find.
Okay, and then is the plan still down there? The
I found
design?
a CAD file, yes.
So it was designed back in 2007 to be done.
Right.
But
Could have been funding and back then. We don't know.
there was funding.
Yeah, it was funding. And
Right, that's when we started the PRP, and it was like the first road
Right.
on the list.
But
10 years ago.
My point is that this is not. This doesn't attribute to the county as being our fault. So I'm saying that if they want dust abatement, then I think that they need to I think the 3 that we did last year and are on the list to be chip and sealed. And you told us that your 207th Street is your priority.
Correct. Yeah, the goal is to get that one done this year, and it should be done this year.
Yeah. And then 178th.
178th is next on the list.
Right.
179th? Or
178th.
where are we at on 179th?
That's not a PRP project.
I know,
That was
but I
taken off
mean-
the PRP list.
Right.
I know, but we were supposed to do it this year, right?
No.
Yeah.
Are we?
We were hoping to construct it this year.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I think that was and I don't want to
You
minimize
guys
this.
remember last year,
I think-
every meeting was 179th.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I remember now.
That one's
It's
not-
hard to keep all of these
Right.
straight. But 100,
But
you're
he's
right.
got 178 that's on the PRP that
That's
they've
the
been
next
shooting
project.
dust control on for several years. We've got McIntyre we've been shooting dust control on for several years. We got 150th. We started shooting dust control on it last year.
But we've changed the PRP process now, and I think we need to let staff work this up and come back to us with a proposal of what roads are most advantageous for Leavenworth County. And that's the reason I voted to have him do this instead of,
But you still had 3 roads that were on the old program.
right. And so I agree that we should
Dust
dust control on those 3 roads.
182nd. Well, the dust
180
control on, we put asphalt millings down and probably in 9, 10, 11, somewhere around in there, and tried to maintain asphalt millings for years because of the traffic. And
Well-
then it went back to gravel.
I heard from a resident down there, called me and asked me, he says, well, if you're going to do dust abatement for 182nd, he says, I just live a mile from where you chip and sealed on the fire station down there. He says, I want dust abatement for my road. Well, I said, it don't work that way.
I'm sure you're glad you get calls from 3rd District, because I don't get any from 1st.
Well, I still get calls from 3rd, and I think it's a carryover maybe from,
Okay.
I don't want to badmouth.
Well, I get
anybody.
enough calls from 3rd. I'm glad I don't get any calls from 1st.
I do get calls from 3rd. In fact, I got one in there now that I've got to return his call.
From Third?
Third.
Is that right?
Tonganoxie.
You might tell them who their commissioner is.
I will. I'll give him your cell phone number.
I don't care, everybody's got it.
Yeah, okay.
I'll talk to anybody.
Well, I'm just telling you what it is. I mean, I'm not trying to.
Well, we have some citizens here that have been complaining about a large amount of dust that is a result of the bridge
I understand
being-
that, and I agree with them. And if they want this done, I think that then it has to be their responsibility, not ours, because this project is not our project. It will be someday. We'll have to develop the ramps going to the bridge, but right now it's not our project.
Well, I understand that, but the bridge being rebuilt and being worked on has caused this extra situation. Isn't that right?
Right. Well, I don't know if it has, because according to David, they are instructing all their truck traffic not to use anything but paved roads.
But according to the project engineer for the KTA, almost all of their traffic is using the turnpike to access the site.
Well, why would they have more dust out here than they did a while back, not too long ago?
Well, that area is growing.
Yeah.
The traffic count from the 2014 traffic count on that road was 260. In 2016, it jumped to 417.
That's
So,
And that's
Good
why it was
jump.
actually,
It's growing. I mean, the traffic is increasing.
that's why it was put
So we
on.
got over 400 cars a day on this gravel road?
On the 2016 count, it was 417.
Then we've lost our low volume road protection.
Right.
They
So
will
we
not
gotta do
qualify.
something. We know that it's over the 400 threshold of pain. We have to do something to improve this
They
road.
will not qualify for the PRP program with that volume.
Well, then I guess dust control would be doing something to try to, I'll make a motion that we dust control 150th Street, 178th Street, McIntyre Road between, 163rd to 171st, and 182nd Street. From Evans to State at the $22,000 for 5 loads.
I would like to make an amended motion. I would like to take out 182nd Street, but I am for 150th Street. in case
I got a
need to-
motion on the floor, Commissioner.
Well, I
I'm
made
waiting for a second.
I made
Second.
Voting.
Well, before we vote, Chairman,
I have amended a motion.
procedurally, I want to make sure, I mean, I've seconded your motion, but I don't believe that we can prevent our other commissioner from speaking.
And
I don't know.
I'm making,
I think there can be discussion, but I don't believe an amended motion could made once that motion is made and seconded.
well, I believe that other commissioners in the past have used that procedure.
Okay, Commissioner, speak.
I'm just trying to get along with everybody.
Well, you guys don't understand. We've got a 400 car a day road.
Yeah.
We are losing our low volume road standard.
And I understand that. I do.
Okay, then
I
let's do
understand
something
that.
about it. Let's do something about it.
So you want to spend an extra $50,000?
It's $22,000.
Plus the rock cost, not
Yeah,
including labor.
right.
Well, you're gonna rock it anyways, gravel road.
Plus, let's talk, I mean, we haven't discussed time frame either.
He told me he could get it done before the end of the month. It'd be done before the 4th of July weekend.
3 to 4 weeks, so end of June, early July before this, and we have to pull crews off of patching and sealing, because that's what
So
everybody's working
we're going to
on.
have to, yeah, I was going to say, then the chip and seal programs that are patching and sealing right now will take a hit.
The patching, yes.
Yes.
We'll have to pull guys off to get the roads ready.
Okay.
Well, my amended motion is to delete 192nd Street, 2440 to Evans Road, for the simple reason is this is not our fault, and we shouldn't have to pay for this. I don't mean to be mean to these people, but I I think that we need to set, you know, if we're gonna just start dust abatement free of charge, then we need to do
You
it for
bring
everybody.
another road in here that's got over 400 cars a day, and we have to deal with it. We have to deal with it. Read your low volume road standard.
I read the low volume
Okay,
road
then you should
standards.
know that we have to do something.
This is not a low volume road standard.
The 400 cars a day exceeds the low volume
Right.
road standard, so it can't be a low volume road. You have to improve it.
No, you don't have to approve it.
Then why they got the manual then?
Well, I mean, this is a KTA problem. This is not a Leavenworth County
The
problem.
400 cars a day didn't just come off of the project. This has been building up over the
It
years.
was only 200 a short time ago, now it's over 400.
Like I said, we're getting it, scaling it back. We're shooting
Well, I made-
0.35 gallons per
I made
square
amended a motion. If it dies
yard.
for a second, then
It-
that's
It's
fine.
dead.
Well,
I don't hear no second, so it's dead. So, back to my original motion.
I seconded it.
Voting.
Aye.
Aye.
nay.
Okay.
May I ask, is it the board's preference that this comes out of local service budget and I just find it in our budget, or how does the board?
Well, I worked with the clerk to see where it come from.
I thought that the clerk said it was going to come out of snow removal.
Well, we'll still have another winter in 2017 still, so I hate to eat up our snow removal budget because we still got to get through.
Well, that's what I'm saying the same thing. That's why I said it's not, I mean, it is our problem, but we didn't create this problem. And they're saying that KTA, because they're closing this bridge and they're redoing this bridge, that it is Leavenworth County's problem. It's KTA's problem.
Okay, I'll work with Janet. Thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you. Mr. Clint, you had your hand up. We got a few minutes before we got another one.
I was hoping the engineer would read that.
No, he won't.
Louis Klemp, 1816 Pine Ridge Drive, Leavenworth, Kansas. Oh, I don't see Janet Klaczynski here.
She was at our previous meetings that you missed.
I know that. I'm very sorry about that. But, you know, there's just some other things that are going to take a priority in my life. But I look at the economics of it. And I heard the engineer say one time, might have been privately to me or here, it'd be nice to make sure we're doing this financially as we have the money. I don't want to see the 80 million or the 90 or 70 or what it's going to be for the 1 cent sales tax. I do not want to see us borrowing all that money and paying, what was it in September? We've paid $734,000 on the money we borrowed. Those were 3 projects, fine. But it's nice for people to come in and say, my road's dusty. I volunteered many years ago to take over my road, and the county engineers wouldn't buy it. Said insurance. I said, well, I'll take out an insurance policy. And that was before I was making big money, and I don't make big money now. And didn't really make big money then. But I think we need to be looking at the economics of it more than satisfying a dusty road. We've moved on to those roads. Somehow we have to assume the responsibility. And I guess if the bridge replacement is causing other traffic to go other places, but it's the economics. That's what this is about, economics. Can we financially afford to spend $22,000 or $50,000 and just keep going on with 207th Street, which we wasted money on. We're going to waste money on McIntyre Road because somebody down there thinks they need McIntyre Road when they really need Muncie and they need 4-H to get the kids to school. But no, somebody down in Lansing thinks they need it, and I just think we need to stop and slow down and look at the economics of how we're spending this potential windfall that the county taxpayer, it wasn't just 400 people, It was the county,
Mhm.
that 76,000 people that are paying these bills. What am I gonna get out of it? I don't get a rotten thing out of it. And I guarantee you, we'll put probably those 400 people together, and they don't pay the amount of taxes I pay. So that's, let's slow this down.
The voters passed them 3 projects.
Right.
And then, and to back on our local roads, this board has
Right.
passed to lower the standard on the PRP, so we didn't have to use ASHTO standards on these roads.
Well, we
And
didn't.
that, our county engineer's own estimate said it would save 80% on a project.
But
So
we didn't have to use Astro standards anyway. That is something that engineers think that we
But-
have to because of lawsuits and all this other hogwash, and we still get lawsuits.
And we do have some roads that are gonna require ASHTO standards, but
Yeah,
a lot of our local roads do not, and we will be doing a lot more roads.
but
When you got a road that's got 400 cars a day on it, we're gonna lose our low volume road standard protection.
I understand that, but you go check with Wyandotte County and see when they did every one of their roads, what happened to them. So financially, that's what I'm interested in.
But
Other than that, it's nice.
this board is committed to improving the roads the most efficient way we can.
Very good. But you think there's another, well, that's 400, so there's 76,000 people, so that's 75,600 people out here that aren't getting anything out of that portion.
No, you're going off of the last census. I think
Yeah.
we've increased
Well,
quite a
you gotta
bit
go off
since
something,
then.
you know, I also
Right.
go off of the Bible, and that was done 1,000 years ago.
It's still good today. So, yes.
You know, I can't keep my mouth shut. I'm Jane Gilbert, 15028 150th Street. I just want to tell you, I pay my taxes, and I pay so many taxes, I pay probably more than you have paid. And I don't think it's fair that we still live in 2017 on gravel roads. All the counties around us do not have gravel roads. And if we have money left over from our snow removal, then it should be put to help the people of the county. It's not fair to take that money and use it on industry or anything else. I'm not asking for anything that we don't deserve. We don't deserve to live on gravel. We built out there 30 years ago. I've paid taxes for 30 years. My son pays taxes. My daughter pays taxes. We all choose to live in Leavenworth County. So let's make this county a good county instead of arguing over these gravel roads. Let's take care of our roads like they're trying to do. It's not, you just can't keep arguing and arguing about these roads. We just need to take care of our roads.
Right.
We need to catch up to Johnson County. We need to catch up to Wyandotte County. You know, Leavenworth County's growing. So as it grows, we've got to take care of the roads to help it to grow. It's not gonna grow, people's not gonna you put a subdivision in, immediately it's turned over to the county and the county takes care of it. I can show you all over the place where these subdivisions are blacktop or chip and sealed. And those people, just because they don't live on an acre, I live on 8 acres now, because we gave our son 2.5 acres because he's sick. But it's just, we've got to quit arguing over it. We got to take care of the people. The voters is who counts. I don't care. That's who counts. That's who's paying their taxes. Without them paying taxes, you're not going to have any money to do anything on any roads.
Right.
So, thank
Well,
you
we've
very
approved
much
the
for
dust
vote.
control for that, and this is,
And I
like I
thank you
said,
for
this
that.
is a Band-Aid till we
Well, I'm kind of
can get
arguing with
these.
Mr. Clem here, really.
Oh, okay. Well, you can do that outside.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Could we move this agenda around a little bit and then go ahead and do our executive session, being as we have?
Sure.
All right. I'll make a motion, or I move to protect the attorney-client privilege. The board go into executive session, discuss legal matters relating to employment contracts. Present would be the 3 commissioners, contract counsel Roger Mars, and outside counsel Scott Ryber. And to be in this room, go into executive session at 9:35 and return to regular session at 10:05.
It's fine. I'll second your motion.
Voting.
Aye.
Aye.
Nay.
The board's returning to regular session at 10:05. No decisions were made. The discussion was limited to employee contracts, and all the discussion was stayed to about employee contracts.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we proceed to negotiate on the employment contracts.
Second. Voting.
Aye.
Aye.
Nay.
Okay. All right, we'll move on to the code of conduct policy discussion.
Yes. Approximately 30 days ago, this board made a motion to set aside some policies, giving us an opportunity to proceed with coming back with a code of conduct that would be inclusive of the policies that were set aside at that time. I've given you all copies of it, and I realize some of you might have just got it this morning or late last night, so you haven't had a chance to completely review it. That is the first draft that came out of the committee. I have a meeting scheduled next week to do the final follow-up, and I would like to just ask that you give us 2 weeks to bring it back in a final format that you could then consider.
So with the copy that I got this morning, opportunity to review it and make comment?
Yes. Yes, and I would ask that if you do have any comments specifically or
Right.
questions, bring those to me and let me have a chance to work on those over the next couple of weeks. But if you could just give us 2 more weeks, I believe it would be finished at that time. Then you could have something that you could
Okay.
take into consideration.
But we had the one for 30 days. We need to extend that.
That's what
Right.
that was my next point was you would, if you so chose, you would need to then extend that 30 days for another 2 weeks or 30 days, whichever you prefer.
Chairman, on May 8, a motion was made and seconded to suspend the whistleblower policy for 30 days. With the current date, we need to renew that for an additional 30 days, and I so move.
Second. Voting.
Aye.
Aye.
Nay.
Any other business?
That was all I
And a
had.
motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second. Voting.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.